All right. Let's see, are we back in now? I wanted to make sure that we have everything taken care of here so that you can see the full image. If you'll give me just a second here, I'm going to try again to share this. Let's see. All right, so we're starting to see some of it now. We'll get this shared out to the different areas. All right, so hopefully you're able to hear me now, and we can start to see what I'm doing here. My goal tonight is to show you how to take this huge transfer, and this is an 18 by 24 transfer, and it's pretty large. I want to be able to make this on one large surface, and I'm using our 18 by 24 Sylvie board. And the 18 by 24 Sylvie is a large board that's designed to cover things like this. Now, it is a boutique surface, so it is a completely reusable surface. And this is a vault transfer, meaning that it's not actually in our catalog, but it is in the vault. So it's coming available to us until they're sold out, and then there'll be no more. So this is called Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Anytime you're working with one of our transfers, you want to make sure that you do note on the transfer the top of it, and this is the top. All right, and you want to be very careful when you're doing something this large, because it is very much a method of madness to it. You have to make sure that you get it off and you keep it nice and flat so it doesn't stick to itself. And being alone doing it, it makes it a little tough, but we're going to see how I do. Okay. Well, that was what we didn't want me to do. Oh, but it wasn't bad. Now we have to fuzz this transfer. Anytime you're using a Chalk Couture silkscreen transfer, you want to fuzz it, and it's exactly what it means. You're putting a layer of fuzz on it, terry cloth fuzz, so that it does not stick to your surface. When a transfer is very new, they are very, very sticky. And with being very, very sticky, you want to make sure you're able to take these on and off your transfer, because the pull and paste method means that we're going to put paste on it and we're going to pull it up so that we don't have big issues. Now, this is a large transfer, and I'm going to use also a bath towel on it because my fuzzing cloth doesn't seem to be really fuzzing well. Oh, now I got lots of fuzz. Okay. So the ultimate goal here is to be able to turn this into a piece of art to hang on my walls. And I've told you guys before that the biggest thing about me is that I live in an apartment. And in living in an apartment, I have to make sure I have space for everything. I don't always have the space or the money to constantly be buying new decor. So Chalk Couture makes it so I can very easily just change out my pattern and put my same piece right back on the wall as a statement piece. So I could change it every month, I could change it every week. My hardest part is always lining it up. I don't know, guys. Some people make it look super easy. I don't have that luck with it. All right. Now, once you have it lined up where you want it, what you really want to make sure is you don't have any bubbles. Because if there's bubbles, you're going to get bleed through. And bleed through means that you're going to have a distorted pattern. Now I'm going to take Wishing You, the top ribbon, and Mary. I'm going to do those in red. And I'm also going to do the ampersand in red. The rest I'm going to do in white. So I have pre-mixed my paste. You always want your paste to be like the consistency of whipped cream, cake batter, something like that. So you want it very smooth. If you have to water it down, always, always, always use a distilled water in a mist sprayer because it is organic, which it means that if you add regular water, undistilled, you could create your very own science experiment. And I mean that very seriously. The minerals in regular tap water will mold. And so you want to make sure that you're only using distilled water when it comes to taking these items and moving them through. Now, when I put my paste on, I'm putting it on pretty generous. I'm making sure I cover everything that is supposed to be in the area that I want red. Okay? And then I'm smoothing it out. So I want to make sure that I have enough coverage that I don't have any problems with it when I go to pull it up. I don't want it into where I want my white. It's just going to be a paste and peel. Guys, I started doing Chalk Couture for a number of reasons. Anybody who knows me knows I love crafts. The other thing was Chalk Couture gave me an outlet during COVID. I'm working from home. I need one of those people I like interaction. So I wanted to make sure that I was still reaching people and seeing people. And I've actually had some great success with it. I've recently added 2 young ladies to my team, and they have been great. So now as I'm doing this, you see that I'm lifting it up, and it's going to reveal my pattern. Okay? And then I'm just going to kind of set it back down. I'm not worried about that portion being up. I need the other portions of it to stay down. Now, I am going to tell you, I did have a couple areas where I'm a little concerned. My paste kind of dried on there. And I want to make sure that this looks really good, okay? So if you have areas like that, you can take your finger and wet it and try and push your paste back through. There we go. I like that much better. Okay, so now I'm going to take my areas that are going to be white, and I'm going to make sure I have no bubbles. I didn't realize I'm out of frame, guys. I'm so sorry. And I'm going to take the next areas here. Let's see if that brings us in. Where it says Christmas, I'm going to go into there and I'm going to start with my white. Okay? Now, I also have stirred up my white. And again, sour cream, chalk paste, that's the consistency you want. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to spread it kind of heavy over all this area. I want my chalk paste to fill in everywhere that my stencil is, where you can see the screen area. You want to make sure that that's covered. You want to take it all the way down and cover all of these areas here. Now the reason you want to be careful and you don't do like I just did, because I just drug red through. I had it on my finger. I had it from right up here. So we'll see if I can get it fixed without causing an issue, or if it's going to look like horse hockey. You want to make sure that you can move this all the way across. Keep it nice and thin, covering your whole areas. Okay, and if you get heavy-handed like I do, don't sweat it. It's easy enough to get the lines out just by moving your paste. You want to make sure that your paste is covering everything and you have no open spots. Now, I'm not quick at this, guys. I am still very, very new. So sometimes I have problems with it adhering properly because my paste gets too dry too quick. But you don't want it to dry in your stencil, because when it dries in your transfer, your stencil, that's when you have trouble. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to try and peel this up. And you always want to pull it straight up. Okay. Once I have it to the area that I've got done, I'm going to let it back down. Now, I want to do my next section here, which is going to be this big ampersand, okay? And it's going to be red. So I'm going to go back to my red paste. And I'm going to put red on it. Now I want it to come right up to the lines. Bring it around. Don't know if you can see it. Okay, I'm just moving my paste through the area. Going to do the same thing up here where all this red is. Where the ampersand comes in, I want it red. Now I have a lot of paste on here right now. And the reason I have a lot of paste is there's some detail work to do here. And if your paste is on thicker, the top might dry, but the bottom is going to stay wet and you can scrape it off and get it back in the jar. And that allows you the time to do your detail work. And I'm going to use the detail tool on this portion and get this up here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead here and pull this paste off. And anything that's left can go right back in my jar. There's no waste with Chalk Couture. And when you're doing the paste and pull method, you want to make sure you take care of your lines. And anywhere where you're heavy-handed, you want to make sure you get that taken care of. And I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to pull this paste off as well. Now we're going to lift it again. So it looks like this now. And I'm going to lift from the top and straight up to the sky. And you start to see the magic. We're going to make sure that I'm pushed back down again through these areas. Okay, I want no bubbles. And these are going to be white. So I'm going to take a larger squeegee and work to the bottom. Oops, and when I look across, I can see bubbles. Okay, I don't want bubbles. And I have a thick coating of paste here, like I said. It will come right out, right off. And we're able to create the magic here just by pulling this across, filling in with my screen. We're going to come up to the edge here. We're going to come in. All right. Now I know I got more to do, okay? But I want to lift the bottom so that I'm doing that full pull and peel. So I'm going to lift from the bottom this time. And we're going to set it right back down so that I can do that next section. And that's right up here. So we want to make sure this is pushed down. And I'm going to pull some of that off there. Hopefully I don't make too big a mess. Okay. And we're going to go ahead here and touch up. I'm going to take my detail tool again. And I'm just cleaning it, guys. I'm using a Clorox wipe. I know they're in rare need right now with COVID and all, but it is the easiest way to clean this up. And I'm going to get a small squeegee, and I'm going to lay some paste in here, right along here. Sure I was. Right along here. Okay. Going to take some more, put it down here. Now I'm getting kind of a foggy mess here, and it can't guarantee it's going to be pretty, but we're going to try it. I'm going to try and angle this in here a little bit and up to this top line. Get that A covered and right down here. Guys, I am by no means a pro at this, but it's no harm, no foul. If it doesn't work out the way I intended it, it's not a big deal, because I can always just spray it with water and remove it. There's no harm in redoing something. See, I'm concerned about that, but I'm more concerned that this line's not covered. Okay? All right. Let's see how it looks. Now, when you're done with this, all you do is take it to your sink or your bathtub and you wash it off. It's all water soluble. So let's go ahead and pull this off. And it doesn't look too bad. Got a little bit of streaking in it. I'm going to go ahead here and pull this off. And